Good day, YouTubers. Thanks for joining me. This is video 33 in my series of videos on Ontario Northland models and HO scale. And today we're taking a look at freight cars as have been released by Bowser Trains. So to date, Bowser Trains has released two different freight cars. The 40-foot boxcar, as can be seen on the left, and a 70-ton 3-bay hopper, as can be seen on your right. And I always like to forget to take a look at the packaging, so we'll take a look at the typical packaging here first. So I think we've all got somewhat accustomed to seeing these green Bowser freight car boxes in our local hobby shops. And the end of these boxes did identify both the railway and the car number. So taking a look at the 40-foot boxcar here first. I've been pretty happy with the purchases that I've made from Bowser Trains so far. In particular, their SD40-2s just had an amazing amount of correct unit-specific detail. These cars that you see in front of you are pretty good, but unfortunately there have been a few errors, which surprises me a bit. So taking a look at the 40-foot boxcar here first. So the Ontario Northland did have a huge number of boxcars in the 90,000 series that represented their original numbering from delivery. The progressive green paint scheme that you can see here reflects how these cars would have been repainted starting in about the mid-60s. And this is the mini paint scheme that many of these freight cars appeared in. I can remember still seeing freight cars appearing in this paint scheme in the late 80s and early 90s on sidings in Northern Ontario. Taking a look at some of the micro lettering and detailing there up close, you can see how it says newsprint A, and that was a common feature on many of these 40-foot box cars for them to be in newsprint service and to have that symbol. But what is not correct here is the white door. The white door was reserved for express service only, and those cars were renumbered into the 7000 series. I'm sorry, the 7400 series. So comparing this to a car by another manufacturer here that got that right, we've got an Atlas 40-foot box car here, correctly renumbered into the 7400 series with the white door. And you can see there to the left of the door, as opposed to that newsprint symbol, they've got express freight service only. And that, there's a lot of photographic evidence for that. So the other problem with this car, and I'll try not to be too critical here today, because it does probably more reflect efficient use of existing molds than a careless error. But the style of the end of the boxcar is not correct. And I always end up comparing back to the 40-foot boxcars that have been made by Trueline Trains here to illustrate how 40-foot boxcars for the Ontario Northland should have looked. So you can see on the right there, that is called an NSC Type 2 corrugated steel end. And it's very distinctive with that the vertical support between the horizontal bands. While the Bowser car on your left shows a dreadnought end, typical of many other manufacturers, I think in particular Pullman, but not a style of end that we saw used by the Ontario Northland on their 40-foot boxcars. So they had three different road numbers released in 2018. Road number 90696. Road number 90708, and road number 90722. Now the other freight car just released last year in 2019 was this sharp-looking 3-bay 70-ton hopper. Now this is the first time that somebody has made a reasonably accurate 3-bay hopper for the Ontario Northland, so very happy to have this in my collection. Bowser did provide this car in four different road numbers. 140112, 140127, 140138, and 140103. Now, the 140 series is correct. Ontario Northland in reality had 80-ton hoppers and not 70-ton hoppers, but in my comparison of photos and such, these cars appear very close. So I haven't really been able to find any distinguishing characteristics that are really very different. Now the paint scheme that you see applies to these represent how these cars would have appeared from the late 40s through to the mid 60s, when these cars started to get painted into that same green progressive paint scheme that we looked at on the Boxcars just a few minutes ago. So all of the labeling that you see on this car here is prototypical and correct. They've got in that circle there, return to CNR via Buffalo for ore loading, Dane, Ontario, Canada. So the mine at Dane, Ontario, the 3 bay hoppers that were utilized out of that mine traveled over the Ontario Northland, CN, and Canada Southern / New York Central lines. So you saw these Ontario Northland 80-ton / 70-ton hoppers intermixed with cars by Canadian National, Canada Southern, New York Central, Pittsburgh, and Lake Erie, amongst others. So we're used to seeing Bowser trains do multiple runs of the same car but with different road numbers. So I'm looking forward to them running some more of these, and also hopefully some in the later progressive green paint scheme. Bowser Trains is releasing another 40-foot boxcar, which we should be seeing hopefully within a matter of months, and that is being released in an earlier paint scheme than their first release here, and it'll be interesting to see how it compares to the Ontario Northland's actual boxcars and other boxcars that have been manufactured to date in HO. So I think I'll leave it there. Thanks for joining me. I will try to have another video up very soon. Thank you.